Hey, so my name's Nathan, and I make videos about crystals, and I've been doing that for the past 3 years. And I'm going through something right now in my life that I just wanted to share on YouTube because it seems to me to be something that's very big in my life. And there's this new crystal that I'm working with, and it's called Cavansite. So I have a piece here that I was ready to show you guys what it looks like. So this is Cavansite. And I've worked with a lot of crystals, and I've always tended to gravitate towards the ones that have the metaphysical properties that are known as like the highest vibrational, like the most intense energies. I always only really wanted to reach out and buy the ones that people were having crazy experiences with. That's just kind of how I started and the kind of things that have interested me the most. So what I'm talking about in this video is the fact that Cavansite, this experience that I'm having with Cavansite, is throwing me for a bigger loop in my transformation than Moldavite. Now, what I'm not trying to say here is that Cavansite's more powerful than Moldavite. That's not the point. The point is that this is very, very, very powerful in my life right now, and is bringing up an immense amount of things that I did not anticipate. And to be honest, I'm having a bit of a hard time because the truth about working with crystals and crystal energy is when you're really going through a transformation, it's not just this whole list of benefits and like rainbows and sunshine. It brings stuff up like. So when they say like Cavansite, I'm going to explain some of this stuff to you guys that I'm experiencing just to share it so that this is always here on YouTube in case it might help somebody or maybe someone just finds this entertaining. But the thing is about the Cavansite is it's got this high vibration, right? And that's what everybody talks about. And so, same with a lot of the other crystals. But this high vibration, when you think about this, when you bring in this crystal energy, you're tuning to it and your vibration starts vibing and resonating at the level of the crystal. But it's highly likely that we are carrying a lot of things that do not resonate at that higher vibration. There's a lot of lower vibrational stuff that we carry and a lot of stuff that we're kind of unconscious about. And we don't even really realize. And some of the stuff we do. But when you start really resonating with the crystal and it's really connecting with you, it can bring up all kinds of stuff that you literally didn't even know was there. And it's like a purge, like it's bringing this stuff up. Now, the number one crystal that's known for doing this is actually called Moldavite. So real quick, I'm actually gonna hop out of my van right here and I'm gonna walk around a little bit so that you guys have a little bit more entertaining of a view. Plus my partner just got back. We're actually at the gym right now. We're traveling in Mount Shasta and she just got back and I can tell that she needs to use the van and she's been patiently waiting outside. I didn't tell her I was gonna make a video, but this is Ruby.
Hello.
You can go ahead in there. I'm just gonna finish this up out here. So this is what has, basically everybody knows this to be about Moldavite, right? Like it's gonna bring up all this stuff. And that's kind of what I pegged that crystal for. I didn't anticipate that there was gonna be another energy that would do this to me. And with things that I literally, I just didn't know about. I didn't know any of the stuff about Cavansite when I brought it into my life. It's actually my partner. She was really resonating with it and was saving up for a piece at the crystal shop. And we both decided to get one. And since then, I've become literally so obsessed. I've got more Cavansite than any other crystal. I'll show you guys my collection in a minute. But the thing is something started happening to me with the Cavansite that is the main thing I want to express. I have been experiencing a lot of anger since bringing in Cavansite. A lot of frustration, and I've been feeling really, really agitated lately. I've been getting super ticked off at things that like literally don't even make sense. Like I'm like snappy at Ruby. Just doing the normal things I do during the day, like making videos, uploading stuff to my crystal store, you know, things like this. Just normal stuff that I've literally been doing every day for years and not been bothered by. Suddenly I'm feeling so agitated about, like I'm feeling so angry. And this is the interesting thing because I didn't know any of the benefits or the effects or things that people write about Cavansite. I didn't know any of this stuff. But my friends started commenting on my Cavansite videos. I've got a playlist tagged below in case you want to check out the others. My friends started commenting on there, whoa, this is like known as the best crystal for helping deal with anger. And I saw this multiple times, multiple people said this. And this blows my mind, because here are people telling me that Cavansite crystal is going to help with anger. And yet I never have had anger issues in my life, but connecting to this vibration, all of a sudden it seems like I'm just pissed off all the time. And I'm feeling so agitated that I literally feel sick. Like, I've been feeling really lightheaded and like I was gonna throw up earlier, and this keeps happening to me, and I'm starting to connect that it's happening from working with Cavansite. Now, my point here is not to scare you guys from working with Cavansite, because this is a really good thing for me. I actually need to get back in the van. There's like kind of loud highway noise, and also my collection's in the van, so I'm gonna hop back in. Don't worry, Ruby, you can just do whatever and just ignore me here, okay? It's just a lot quieter in here, and it's easier for me to think. This is the thing, see, this usually isn't something I experience, but I've been getting like really flustered, and like even just hearing Ruby moving stuff around in the background, it makes me like want to like turn around and like scream in her face. No, I'm not trying to like, if you saw her face, you'd be like, oh my God. Like, this is the thing, is like, I'm not normally like this. Like, I just feel so, like, just, you guys know that feeling? There's a saying for this. But anyways, this is what I'm experiencing. It's like everything keeps triggering me so easily and creating so much anger in my reality. And again, I'm not trying to scare anybody from Cavansite. The point is that I didn't know that these things were here, that like these were within me, and that this was stuff that I had to go through. I mean, I have a friend from my past, her name's Paloma, and she was talking to me the other day about how she's dealing with something, it's called like ancient or primordial rage, it's sacred rage, I don't know, something about her spiritual path. And I told her how I really couldn't relate because I don't feel any rage or anger, and I've never been an angry person, and she laughed at me. She's like, I knew you'd say that. But the point is like, I clearly have some anger, and it is so clear now, because all this stuff that I'm feeling upset about and agitated about, these things have been in my experience, and I've been feeling them this whole time. I just didn't know it. This anger has been influencing my life for longer than I can remember, and I just didn't know it. But the Cavansite is amplifying it and making it so much more intense. And now my awareness is tuning to it, and I'm starting to realize what pisses me off and what's really freaking me out. I get really, really upset when things are not going the way that I planned them to go. I get really, really, really upset when I can't control my reality. It is very angering to me because I have a certain way that I want these things to go. I've been working on stuff in a certain way. I've been working really hard. Lord knows I have. Ruby knows. Like, I work hard. You know, I work a lot, constantly. And I have never really thought of it as work, because to me, I've been following my goal and moving towards what I love and what's meaningful to me, and I wouldn't take that back or change it for the world. But the point is like, when things don't go according to my plan, it's starting to become more clear to me from working with the Cavansite that I'm a little bit of a control freak. Even though I might seem like a really relaxed, kind of more hippie vibe, like loose, easygoing person in my videos, if you've been my friend here for a while and we gotten to know each other, that's probably the vibe I give off. I probably give off a very like, I'm chill vibe. And the Cavansite is really helping me to tune in and experience that I'm not as chill as I thought I was. But it's okay, because this is the thing that is my main point about the Cavansite. I'm healing right now. Something that I've learned from working with crystals is that anytime something happens, there's two paths you can take. What happens, it's right here, right in the middle. Something happens. I can choose to either use it in a positive branch, or I can use it to grow in the negative branch. Meaning I could take this crystal creating anger, or not creating anger, but making my anger more palpable. I could take that and choose to freak out and start breaking stuff like I felt like doing earlier today. It was like insane. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling so much rage right now. This is crazy. I could choose that, or I could choose to use the experience in my benefit and for myself. Like, this is happening for me. This is how I'm choosing to grow with the Cavansite. I'm growing because I'm becoming aware of my anger, and I'm letting it go, and I'm healing. Does that make sense to you guys? Have you ever had an experience like this where, like, somebody might take something that's happening and easily the collective group of people would vote that that's a bad thing, but to you, for whatever reason, you saw it as a positive? That's how I feel. And it's absolutely insane. Now, the Cavansite's energy is honestly one of the highest vibrational ones I've worked with, to the point where I'm very sensitive and I feel so high up and like I'm just flying. I feel like I'm just flying. And in the beginning of working with the crystal, I felt it like a high, like I was riding a high, and it's super, super amazing. And it is, but suddenly I'm flying so high that everything that has been weighing me down is starting to be shaken. And I want to freak out, but I'm realizing that the parts of me that are freaking out are the parts of me that it's time to let go of. And they know. These parts of me know that I'm letting them go, and they're doing everything they can to survive by chiming in and triggering me and getting me upset and trying to get me to choose to ruin certain things in my life or get angry and choose the angry path. But I'm not going to do it, because simultaneously, all this anger coming up and all this lower energy that's kind of being purged, how someone might explain it, like me right now, right? Through all of this, there's something about the Cavansite. It's this electricity, and I feel it right here, dude. I feel it right here, and I feel it coming back around in a loop. It's very interesting, and coming out my throat, and it's creating this almost like sphere of energy around my head. And it moves the energy out in front of me, almost like this cone. I know that's really strange, but that's how I feel it. Now, this energy that's moving out, it's something very true, and it's very raw, and I'm very tuned into it. And I realize I'm not explaining it well, so very simply put, yes, the Cavansite is helping me to feel all the anger I might have. And throughout all of it, the Cavansite is right there with me, and it's talking to me very clearly, and it's talking to me with my voice, my true being's voice. And it's speaking, and it's telling me, hang in there, Nathan. This is happening for you. This is a good thing. This is part of my journey. And even though I feel like taking all this Cavansite and throwing it outside of my van because it is that intense to me right now, I know it's going to be okay, because the Cavansite is really loving, and it's really soft, and it's very there for me simultaneously. And so I just wanted to share this experience with you guys. Look how beautiful the Cavansite is. I truly, truly love it. And yet simultaneously today, I just feel like throwing up. But I wanted to share this video because I know normally I post videos talking about how amazing it is. And this isn't anything different. I really truly am still coming at this from the place of how amazing it is. But when it comes to crystals, sometimes there's other stuff that happens too. And sometimes we don't realize that that's what it is. And when it comes to Cavansite, it's likely that if you're anything like me, you might not realize it, but there might be some things to let go of, to increase your vibration, move forward in your journey, however you want to look at it, that's fine. But I didn't realize it, dude. I did not realize it, and the Cavansite is throwing me for a loop. So I did tell you guys that I was going to show you the Cavansite collection I've got, so I'm going to do that because I said I would. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn my camera around.
Hi, guys.
You look like a babushka. Okay, here we go. Turning the camera around. Da, 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 da. So these are my Cavansites. I have them all labeled because one of the reasons why I spend everything that I have on crystals is because I also run a crystal store. I know that you guys who are my friends who have seen my videos before, you already know that, but maybe someone else watching doesn't. But that's why I have so much crystals, and that's kind of like what I buy everything with. And I fell in love with the Cavansite so quickly. This is only one of the containers. I have a whole other container, but it's the highest quality stuff that I've seen. And I both simultaneously want to surround myself in it, and like I said, also get it as far away from me as possible right now. But you know, I'm grounding, and I find that eating a good grounding meal helps me a lot to really tune into the Cavansite. Check that one out. That one's pretty sick. There's some really nice ones.
I have something to say.
Ruby has something to say. Hold on, we're gonna turn this around. Ruby is also working with the Cavansite too.
Yeah, so
all right, you're on camera. Go ahead.
I have the Cavansite too, but I also...
We can't see your face. Oh, there you go.
I also find that, you know how you guys, a lot of people pair Moldavite with a grounding stone, like black tourmaline or something like that, but like maybe choose a calming stone like one of these, right? I have some raspberry garnet, lavender jade, and grape agate. Maybe combine a calming stone with the Cavansite.
Yeah.
And I think they synergize really well together.
I appreciate that you said that. I'm going to turn this around again because that triggers me to have something to say. Hold on, guys. So I totally feel what Ruby's saying, because there's something that's incredibly electric about the Cavansite. And that electricity seems to be, this electricity is what I've recognized in a few crystals as being the ones that are the most intense and transformational. But it's also jarring, and it rips a lot of stuff up. So I like how Ruby said that you compare it with something that's more soft. And that makes sense to me. But I am a little bit of a crazy intense person. And even when shit hits the fan and everything feels like it's going horrible, for some reason, there's a part of me that just, oh my God, I love it. I love it. The fact that I can pick up a crystal like this and crazy shit starts happening and all these different synchronicities and all these lessons and all this stuff starts happening, I can literally feel it with just like this beautiful part of me. So I agree that a softer stone, grounding energy could be great. But I still think that Moldavite is the best one to pair with it. And that's only for my crazy friends who resonate with the kind of vibe that I have, where it's like, we want to like just go hard. And if you don't care, if you want to expedite the journey as quick as possible and it doesn't really matter to you as much, my camera's going all whack, then, and you want it to be as quick as possible and you don't mind if stuff gets crazy and you know you can handle it and you know that you'll keep the awareness to be tuned in and like, you know, pay attention and listen to the crystals, then I think Moldavite's the best. Because Moldavite, they have a really similar energy, actually. And I already have a video. I'll just tag it below so I don't waste time talking about it here. But the Moldavite is like this engine. And I notice anything that I pair Moldavite with, it increases the power of that crystal and how deep the crystal drives up this energy and lessons in me. Like a lot of crystals, you can tune into the energy and feel it. And you can feel that energy and tune to it. But it's like when you pair it with Moldavite, you don't just tune to the energy and feel it. It's like crazy shit starts happening around you. And it's just an interesting thing I've noticed with Moldavite. But I know I'm going to be okay. You know, I know I'm going to be okay with what I'm going through right now. And I wanted to share this with you guys, not to be like an overshare, but just to say, like, sometimes I bring in these crystals and it brings up a lot of stuff that I was pretty sure I didn't have going on. But it's very clear to me that I have some anger and agitation towards life in general and feeling like things don't necessarily go my way and I'm trying to control it. And the biggest thing that I'm learning from the Cavansite right now is the more I try to control what's happening and the angrier I get, the more and more things fall apart and the more things start happening that make me even angrier. But there's these pristine moments with the Cavansite where I feel like I'm flying above all of it. This is the interesting thing with the Cavansite. I feel angry, but I'm also very clearly experiencing myself as not being the one who's angry. It's like I'm up here flying, and I can feel in my human person that I'm so pissed off and raging. But I'm just watching my person being angry. And when it's in these pristine moments when I'm really tuned into it, it's amazing because I let go and I stop trying to control the situation, and all of a sudden the anger disappears and literally the sun will come out and start shining in very literal and metaphorical ways. Like, the less I try to control stuff, and the more I just let go and let everything be the way it is, and I just, it's all good, then all of a sudden things start happening that reflect to me that it is all good, you know? So really what I've been doing lately, since I started working with the Cavansite, yes, I've been getting angry and feeling like I'm going through this stuff, but simultaneously, something's been happening lately. I've been a lot less focused on work and trying to change things in my reality, and a lot more like here and having fun and playing like I'm a kid again. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like Cavansite's bringing out the kid in me again. Like we've been playing games and having fun. We've been playing tetherball, cards. We've been laughing. I've been feeling a lot more lately like life takes care of me versus I have to fight to have my place in life. And it's interesting because it's almost like the part of me that has anger problems is the part of me that's a quote-unquote adult who knows I have to be responsible and do all of this stuff. Oh! But, like, do I really? Like, is it possible that life is like a beautiful playground and is here to take care of me and let me be the kid that I am and just have fun and play games? Like, sorry about that. My camera ran out of storage space, so I deleted some stuff, and you know, to be honest, that's kind of the end of the video anyways. But thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this conversation. I think it's a big one when it comes to working with crystals. I think there's this whole other side to the energy work that sometimes I personally overlook, and that's when life serves me a very big slap in the face kind of lesson. So thanks guys for being here and being people that I just really like talking to about crystals, and you guys are awesome. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for letting me know what you think below and liking the video. Thanks for buying your Cavansites from us and supporting the channel. And I'm excited and I look forward to talking about Cavansite more with you guys. More videos coming. Cavansite playlist below. I'll see you guys soon, and much love to you.
Peace.